stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. I switched computers. See, the problem was before I had actually switched computers before because the internet wasn't working very well, but now it is. And it's so much easier on this than it is. Now, I mean, like a lot easier, and I can use my microphone. You may not have noticed, but the sound may have changed. I need to know if it's too loud. I haven't really used this one, but it's got to be better than the microphone on the camera. I'd show it to you, but I can't show you the camera with the camera. So I still got to do a little bit more sharing here. And then you have the joy of watching me make a sandwich. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Oh, it did not change. It didn't change did it again. It did it again. All right. So now I know. Did it? Okay. I got to check one other thing here. Okay, it did it there, but not to Facebook. So that's okay. That causes me less work. Edit post. Otherwise, people are just going to think, I got 3, I got to change. Give me one more second, and I got to make a sandwich because I'm hungry. I'm a hungry hippo. Go on, would you just post it? I've got phenomenal internet. Thank you. Not used to this computer. That was daily trudge. Yeah. One more to do here. All right. There we go. That is all done. Do we have anybody here yet? No, we do not. The chat, the overlay is going. Nobody's here, but he loves me. Me. Put that back. Go there. What's this? Just a friend that hasn't been to a meeting. So I'm like, if you want to come join us, and no, not that. No, we do not do email on this. So I have been doing all of this on this, but it doesn't have all the plugins that I need. This is bread. You can see how Dion makes a sandwich. I mean, everybody else posts what they eat. So I think the least we can do here is, Give me a second. I'm gonna give this to somebody just in case. All right. There we go. I'm surprised that nobody's here. Oh, actually, this is a lot better. I guess I didn't really need to buy that other computer. Shit. Don't let my wife hear me say that. I'm Jillian. I will. I'll fuck a motherfucker up. I will. If it needs to be done, I'll do it. Hopefully that crinkling is not like too. I switched computers and I'm using some other equipment. So, like this fine microphone. Yeah, that's what it's called, the FFINE. Literally, it's called fine. So today we're going to talk about alcoholism and codependency. what? Yeah, you bet. You think that non-alcoholics are the only people that can become codependent? And I actually see it a lot. I see it a lot. Codependency is not a good thing. Well, I mean, it depends on how you take it. I'm not an Al-Anon, so is it? Is it a lot better? Awesome, thank you. I'm just getting ready to do a lot of podcasting, and you know, he used to have a really good microphone, but I can't. It broke, and I can't afford another one. So there's my sandwich. All I do is 2 pieces, put a thing of pudding on it. I don't like mayonnaise and stuff. So, and yes, I have to cut it in half because I'm a child. And this is how you cut them in half, to the side, okay? Not across. What's wrong with people? I swear. Do some introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Don't wear it out. Actually, do. Wear my name out. Do you know Dion? Do you know Dion? Everybody should know Dion. And a lot of people agree with that. I'm fucking around. If you know me, then you know I'm fucking around. Even the camera looks better. Everything is better. All right. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. Put the chat back up. Okay. So what is a codependent? Now, a codependent is somebody that protects the alcoholic from a consequence. Unsolicited advice. That's codependency. And that's what I see a lot going on in AA. Gotta cut it out. We can't do that shit. I see it all the time. This need for correcting people. I'll give you a good example. Somebody says something, you knew what they meant. They knew what they meant. But I interrupt them and say, well, you meant this. Yes, it's a form of codependency. It's called manipulation. It's a form of codependency. Now, what do I see this a lot. Now, this is the order in which it goes, okay? Somebody dumps in a meeting and then the members in there try to help them. That's codependency to an extent. What about you? What are you doing? Yeah. No, I don't want to hear your dumping at meeting. Okay, those are for our stories. I don't want to hear your trauma at the meeting, ma'am. It's not why we're there. And because when you start dumping your trauma and stuff onto the meeting, what happens is you start triggering other people. And sure, they're responsible for their own triggers, but so are you. But you're being triggered and you're putting it out there in the meeting. And we got to have right arenas. If you want to go around and buttonholing people and telling them what to do, create an arena like this. And then the people that are willing to listen to what you had to say will come to it. There you go. Okay. But it's like we're attacking the newcomer, but we're not helping. Alcoholic codependency is when an alcoholic's addiction relies on another person's actions and behaviors. I see this a lot going on with sponsees and sponsors. My sponsor told me, I don't tell my sponsees shit. I say stuff, but I tell them, you got to find more recovery than me, man. I am not. I don't know it all. I can help the best that I can, but I'm not really anything more than that, and I don't need to be. I don't need to be. Okay. Codependent relationship between the addict and an enabler allows for a comfortable situation where the addiction can thrive and grow. Now they're using thrive and grow, which is usually good words, aren't they? No. But in this case, it's a bad thing. Okay. Anything that we do to protect the alcoholic will make it worse. Okay? We're with a guy who's just going into the 4-step. Okay. Now, all he had to learn in steps 1, 2, and 3 really was accountability and delayed gratification. You need those 2 skills. Okay. So when a sponsor says, hey, I'm going to send you over homework for steps 1, 2, and 3, you're codependent. It's codependency. No, there is no action in steps 1, 2, and 3. Stop creating action in it. No. It needs to be that way for a very good fucking reason. And that reason is so that you figure out that your real reliance is upon your higher power, not other people. That you ain't going to get what you want anymore. You're going to have to be okay with that. Or the 4th step is off the table. It's just off the table, man. Yeah. Now, some people can get to that a little bit quicker. It's different for everybody else. I find the guys that I work with, they need a little bit of time. They got to trust me before I get to that 4th step. Let me tell me things they haven't told anybody else, right? What are the 5 core symptoms of codependency? God, this is going to piss you off. Sorry. It's not much different than addiction, okay? Because whether you are the alcoholic or the codependent, you're spiritually sick. See? Codependency is another form of mental illness. I would go as far to say that. I would. Why is this camera? I'm going to switch the camera to. I'm going to go back to my old one. This one keeps fading out. Okay. Here we go. It might be tough to hear. Or you might be like, okay, that makes sense, and I'm going to do it. Yeah? The 5 core codependency characteristics are falsely empowered. 1, lack of self-love. You don't love yourself enough yet. I'm sorry. I know. Did you think we were? We're Al-Anons too. Why? Because we're working with other alcoholics. Okay. And what will happen is you will start to use your sympathy, which is a very bad thing. Sympathy does not work in AA. Just like osmosis doesn't work. Right? Resting on your laurels doesn't work, right? All these things don't work. Lack of boundaries. What are we doing? You spot it, you got it, man. Okay. Yeah. Lack of boundaries. What does it say on page 164? You can't transmit something you don't have. I'm going to give a good example, and I'm not putting anybody down. I had a PTSD attack this week. Okay. It's an attack because that's what it is. Right? Everybody kept saying, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. When somebody says that I need to take care of myself, you know what I think? There's a good chance you probably need to take care of yourself. Don't tell people that. What are you doing to take care of yourself? That's what you should say. And I was talking to somebody and they said that to me. And I'll tell you what I said to them. You have no idea whether I'm taking care of myself. Are you around me 24 hours a day to know what I do to take care of myself? I did take care of myself very, very much. So when you come to me and I'm in PTSD and you say take care of yourself, my thought is go stick your head up your ass. Because that is not compassion. That is a directive. It is unsolicited advice. No. Okay. It's just as bad as interrupting somebody and correcting them, even though everybody knew what they were talking about. They just made a human mistake. Why do we have to correct that? Because inside we're not okay. Inside we're not okay. So therefore, I'm going to pick something out from you that you were doing wrong so I don't have to look at what? Me. Yeah. And I very much took care of myself. The first thing I did was ask my wife if she could come home. That was taking care of me. Yes, it was. And I did some other things to take care of me. I take care of me first. You bet. Because if I don't, then I can't help anybody else. Okay. Patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. That overwhelming need to help somebody is codependency. That is not from God. That is a mental illness. Yes. Well, they're just not doing what I'm saying, so I'm going to let them go. Codependency. Yeah. I don't fire sponsees. I fired one. They were just determined that I had to be their sponsor, and I wasn't the right fit. I wasn't. And I was correct in it. Fire a sponsee. Whatever. Like you have some power, control. It's not real. It's not real. You want to know why they didn't do what you said? Because you told them what to do. Who the fuck am I to tell somebody what to do? Are you taking care of yourself? Yeah, right here. I'll show you. Bow! Bow, bow, bow! Right? I'm telling you what I think. Now, it's not the reaction I'm going to give you. It's not for me to... See, I put some things out on Facebook. I knew I was going to get unsolicited advice. This is how humans are. Especially when it comes to, oh, Dion's got a problem. Dion never has a problem, so we better go. No, I have my shit taken care of. I don't solve my problems here. It's not the right arena for it. I don't solve my problems in AA meetings. It's not the place for it. The reason we have meetings is to remind us it ain't working out there, to change our attitude, to share our experience, strength, and hope. If you go to a meeting and you do not plan on sharing your experience, strength, and hope, why the fuck are you going? Oh, I'm just going to sit and listen. I get it. I'm shy too. I'm introverted. I have to make myself extroverted. And if you do not participate in your recovery at meetings, you are not going to make it. I tried to say that in the 3:00 meeting yesterday. Somebody kind of gaslit me on it. I just left it what it was because they don't understand. It's not for me to make them understand. That's not my job. I can't do that part. Back to serenity prayer, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You can't control people and you can't tell them what to do. Period. Out of reality. Yeah, you're not living in reality when you're doing that. Okay? And I mean it when I say that when people are going through a mental illnesses, do not tell them what to fucking do. Period. Now, I've been through it enough that I can differentiate what you are doing. But I've had to do this since I was fucking... it's something that came to my mind would not be appropriate here. Before I got facial hair. Even before then. Before my voice started squeaking. I've been in therapy since, God, I don't know how long. 8. All right. Out of reality. When somebody is in codependency, they are not living in reality. And here's the reality. You can't not change people. You can guide. You can lead. But beyond that, I'm not God. I'm not God. So therefore, it's not going to work for me. Lack of self-care. There it is. I already kind of talked about this. Okay. See, everything's in order. Let's use, I'm going to be a peer support specialist at Detox. Let's use that as an example. Okay. There's some steps there. First of all, I'm going to have to become a recovered alcoholic. That's the first thing that's going to need to happen. What does that mean? It means I finished the steps successfully and I have had an spiritual experience, and now I have spiritual or God consciousness. Number one. Now, education. You got to be educated. Why is that? Because you're going to be writing clinical notes. You need to at least have a basic understanding of Counseling 101. And that means how you talk to people. A lot of people in AA could use basic Counseling 101. It's just how you talk to somebody. Okay? Then, and I'm going to give an example of something like that here in a minute. Okay? But I want to be a peer support specialist. Well, I may be working there while I'm getting my education. That's okay too. Because I'm a recovered alcoholic and I have my experience, strength, and my hope. Okay? But in order to be a peer support specialist, you're going to need to have also 1 to 2 years of sobriety. That's cut across the board. And I absolutely believe in that. And I don't care who you are. On the average alcoholic, it takes 1 year. It took me 3 years. Actually, I think it was more than that before I was okay. And I was well enough to sponsor. Okay. If I'm going to be a peer support specialist, I better have sponsees. My AA better come first, or my counseling is just bullshit. Otherwise, my counseling is codependency. And that was the problem that I had with working at Detox. Everyone working there they had servants' hearts, but all of them were codependent. Okay. They didn't help. They appeased. They either appeased or argued, but there was never awareness or acceptance. And that is codependency. All right. So I have put my camera down a little bit to show you this one, which is actually where it should be because you couldn't see half this stuff. And of course, you can't see my cool ass t-shirts. All right. So you're talking with someone and they're sitting like this. What does that mean? It means they're closed off. We know that. It means they're probably not listening to you. It's just comfortable for me to. No, this is actually a very unnatural position. No. Right. So you're talking to someone, right? And after a while, and what you do is you just copy what they do. So if they're sitting like that and you need to open them up, go ahead and sit like that. Okay. Yeah. And continue talking. Then after about a minute, 2 minutes of talking, what you're going to do is you're going to take your arms and you're going to go like this. Okay. What do I have? Okay. This is what's called the basket. And it means that I am now opened up. What am I doing? I'm leading. This is why it's important that we meet face to face. This is why we need Zoom. Anything blah, 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 blah is only half done. It's convenient. Texting is not communication at all. No. That is just communication. It's convenience. Even this morning with my daughter, I tried to crack a joke. It failed utterly, but if we would have been in person, she would have laughed her ass off. See, that's the difference because she couldn't see my face. She couldn't hear my tone in these different things. Okay. It is not giving. It's when and how to give. And if I don't know that, then I will become codependent. I will start to tell my sponsees what to do. Okay. And if there is something that you are giving your sponsee that is outside of this book, it is not AA. It's not AA. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying it's not AA. There's only one way to do your 4th step, and it's It's scripted in there. Now, it may look different for everybody, but the process is the fucking same. Okay. Here's one that we've been dealing with anyway. Lack of maturity. I haven't grown it up yet. I still have emotional and mental turmoils going on. See, what happens when I work on my spiritual malady, or when we work on our spiritual malady, it will help with a lot of stuff, but not everything. Some people, it covers everything. Great. Dion had a lot of trauma. But what it did is then by the time I went to therapy, I knew what to work on. They were real problems. They weren't blown out of proportion. They were right size. Now therapy works because now I'm honest. That therapist wasn't any good. Well, you weren't honest with them. A therapist doesn't solve your problems. There's only one person in this world that can solve your problems, and it's you. Everything else is information, but your perception, okay? Your tie to your higher power is what fucking matters. How to tell if someone is codependent. Okay, here we go. Codependent people are often anxious and have a strong need for others to approve of them. Okay, you ever talk to somebody there? There you go. What did I say earlier? Right? Sorry. It was either eat here or be a dick. So I chose to eat here. It is rude though. That's all right. Everybody else is at the 3:00 meeting. So it's just me and Julian right now. So that's fine with me. All right. Go to bed. They may fear being abandoned by people close to them, which leads them to ignore their own needs. They may try to control others. Over time, they may become angry and resentful. Right? Hey, Bren! Bren's in the house. See, it only says, look, see, there's two of you here. All right. It's all caught. And it says one. One. And Bren, the sound's probably a little bit better because I switched equipment. That's it. You want to know my big? I'll tell you my. Besides losing my freedom for no fucking reason, because this happened to me a lot. You want to know what my biggest fear in this whole fucking world is? Losing my wife. It's my biggest fear. I ain't drinking. I'm not worried about that. But I am. Well, what is that? It's codependency. But I don't take it to extremes anymore. This is, yeah. Why? So can you see how the abandonment leads to codependency? And what are we? We're an abandoned people. Right? Right? What are the 4 types of codependency? Let's find out what that is. The enabler. You know what enabling is. The controller. The people pleaser. And the martyr. Yeah, those are all 4 forms of codependency. Yeah. I got 3 or 4. I got 3 out of 4 of those. Controller, people pleaser, and martyr. Yep. Enabling. All right. It says here, what can be mistaken for codependency? I bet it's empathy. I'll put money on it. Let's find out. That could be mistaken. Empathy is the foundational. Told you. All right. Let me tell you something. Okay. I haven't just been in AA. I've been a drug and alcohol counselor. I've worked detox. I worked treatment, family counseling. There's not much that I haven't done in the mental health world. And then between my own alcoholism and my own mental illnesses, I left a message for Adams County yesterday saying, hey, the resources that you put out, they lead back to body brokers. What are we doing here? And she's like, well, yeah, we kind of extrapolated that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, God, how fucking lazy. So you relied on something else and you never took a look. Okay. I call that the poltergeist. If you ever watch the movie, at the end of the movie, he's like, you moved the bodies, or you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies. They're not moving the bodies. And if they don't, it's just going to lead people to the same place again. And we've been working hard to get away from that. Right. So I called the executive director of Adams County, and I went to voicemail. It's Friday before Thanksgiving. Nothing's around. I will explain body brokering here in a moment. Right. And I left her a message, and I'll tell you what I said. I said, you guys need to start paying me, because if you think I'm going to do all this for free, you're wrong. And you're not going to find another person like me. There's not another one in college. You will not. It is because of the different experiences that I've had. I've had a very, very fucking rough life. Yes. So have you. That's why I do podcasting, right? So let me read this. I'll get to what body brokering is. Empathy is foundational to forming and maintaining healthy relationships, but is often mistaken for a different dysfunctional behavior, codependence. Okay. Now, what's the difference? Okay. See, they're saying it's empathy, but really it's sympathy. You're not having empathy, you're having sympathy. So here's how you can get out of your codependency. Stop with the sympathy. There you go. Simple as that. It's not going to be easy. Well, but when I see animals and they have no home, I have sympathy for them. So, that's an empathy. Yeah, I get it. I know. But in AA, you have those, sometimes you see people that are a little bit older and it seems like they don't really care. They're using empathy. That means, so sympathy means you come to me with a problem and that happened to me too and it wasn't right and blah, blah, and now we're going together and it's horrible and it sucks. Empathy has a solution. So you cannot have empathy in something until you have a solution. And we got to be solution oriented. How does one know that it gives you feels you don't have? How does one do that when it gives you feels you don't have? I'm trying to understand the question. If I'm understanding it correctly, then we got to go internally. And this is where honesty comes from. See, when you look at something out in the world and you've made a judgment about it, now it's time to go internally and say, Dion, why? Why are we saying that? Why is it that I think that? Do I think that? Is that true? My last therapist was really good about that. I would say something and she's like, is that what you really want though? See? So a lot of it is like the step 4. And if you haven't done step 4 yet, this hasn't quite hit. Okay. Okay. But so, yeah, and that's great. Thank you for telling me that. Okay. Now that's honest. And once we're honest, see, this is an honest statement. Having sympathy makes me feel better. Yes. Why are you feeling better because of somebody else's misery? I'm only saying that because I do it too, right? So, yeah, when you're done with step 4, this is going to make a little more sense, okay? Once you become more, once you get through that and start to see, it makes you feel better, okay? What we're working with here is dopamine. And sympathy can bring you dopamine. Sure, it can. Don't wear out all your dopamine in that, though. Now, those of us with other mental illnesses, yes, because you're an alcoholic. Yeah, the answer to that would be yes. Yeah. Right. That's how I know certain things. Like, I talk about intrusive thoughts all the time. People don't talk about that. I know you get them. How do I know? You're an alcoholic. It's all I need to know. And it's going to be that way for the rest of your life. You can't help it. It's how we react to these things now. It's taking 2 more extra seconds. It's holding space for people. That's what it's about. You know? So I think there was one other thing. What mental illness is codependency? Codependent personality disorder is not a mental health condition. That's because you're on your 4th step. All right, let's talk about that. We're done with the codependency. That's about all you need to know. Because just like narcissism, I'm not a narcissist, but I have narcissistic traits. Okay. Well, with alcoholism, it comes with everything. That's why I said yes earlier, because you're an alcoholic. So you have trauma and PTSD because of my alcoholism. I'm depressed because of my alcoholism. I have anxiety because of my alcoholism. Not because of alcohol, but because of alcoholism, which is a mental illness. And it is different. So let me explain, because I don't want to go against what your sponsor is saying. Okay. So I'm going to give suggestions, or let's call it what it is, unsolicited advice. Okay. You don't need to take it. It is a suggestion. So I have my 4th step. Okay. And when it comes to my sponsees, because I do it the way that I was told. Okay. You can see it's falling apart. I kept mine. Now, see how it says mom right here? That's all I'm going to show you. Sorry. Now, notice it's just names. Well, I only got this one line. That's all I got to write about my mom, because I had to get down to causes and conditions, right? So that's one thing, right? Because this isn't about re-traumatizing ourselves. This is not an autobiography. That will be done in the talking. Okay. So good so far? Good. Okay. So the next thing was, I was told what I get to do is I get to work on this for 15 to 20 minutes. You put a timer on for 20 minutes. Okay. Oh man, I've got a. Okay. Then when I'm done, I take this, I put it away. I close it. It is no longer mine. It now belongs to God. And I am not allowed to work on it again until the next day. Now, remember earlier I was talking about a few skills: accountability and delayed gratification. Without delayed gratification, you might go squirrely in the head, okay? But that action of closing it, saying, God, it's yours now. And trust me, in 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the road, you're going to think of something else. But no, you don't get to touch it. No, go enjoy your life. Do that instead. You're working on it. Good fucking job. You know what this is? It's an elephant. And there's only one way to eat an elephant. bite at a time. It's the only way. So we do this nice little short bursts. Okay. Now, what's going on, and it can't be helped. So if you're in the middle of your 4-step and you're being a dick to you all day, you're on the right path. There you go. See, you're learning. So what is that? What is that? That is progress. You can't see it right now because you're being a dick to yourself. Okay? So, would you let somebody else treat you like that? No? Then don't do it to you. That's what I always say to myself. Yeah. Name calling. Can't call yourself names. No. You know, I was called stupid like a great portion of my life. Now people are like, wow, you're really intelligent. Where'd you go to college? I'm like, college? Okay. Whatever. You know. Fine. You know what fine means? Fine means I probably ticked you off. It's hard, but yeah, I know. Fine also stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. But I didn't ask her how she was doing. That's a different fine. So I get weird about short answers, and it isn't anybody else. It's me. So don't worry about it. I've known you well enough, Bren, that I can give you crap. I think Julian had something else to do. So, all right. So let it go. God, it's yours. Because here's the thing. It's in the past. We don't live there anymore. Right? And I'm going to tell you something. You deserve, and I'm talking straight to you now. Okay? You deserve better than that today. You really do. So if I can make a suggestion, apologize to yourself for being mean today. Make an amends to you. If you can't make an amends to you, you're not going to be able to make an amends to other people. Yeah. The one I hate is okay. If that's an unacceptable answer to me. One guy I was asking about a house stuff, saying, and he was just like, okay. No, done. If there's no enthusiasm there and I'm trying to do something and you're just kind of appeasing me, and I know, I'm not going to keep moving forward because I don't need appeasement. See, when you got what you need, you don't fucking worry about all this shit. So you just keep going, but you're going to have to use, and you do have willpower, just not for alcohol. So use all of your will to be nice to Bren today. Okay. Okay. I kind of figured, but I don't want to assume. That's another one that it ticks me off. Don't assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. No, if you assume, that's on you, not me. If you assume, I'm not taking it. No. All right. Now, 45 minutes is good, so we'll wrap it up. That, and I got to get ready for the 5 o'clock meeting. So a meeting here in an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that, because I don't want to say this. You better be nice to my friend. Yeah. Don't be mean to my friends, or I will put my foot up your butt. That includes you. That's as far as the butt kicking is. All right. But you see what I did? I confront, but it's got to be done right. Sure, I can do it. That was confrontation. You bet. That was all confrontation, because I'm going to say something you may not want to hear. And what fear do I have? Abandonment. Whew. It wasn't showing up. There we go. I needed my star. Now that I got it, and I know I'm a rising star. I love you guys. All of you. Brent, thanks for hanging out. And I love your questions. I love inquisitive people. I really do. Because nothing gives me more joy than if I said something that made somebody's day better. It makes my day better automatically. And I love it. It's it's I'm addicted. There it is, that face always raised eyebrow.